I forgot my helmet. Stay. Good boy. Wouldn't it be great if all horses listened this well? What if you could teach your horse to do this? If you're interested, click to learn more. Good morning. My name is Kaylee Scott, and I represent the Massachusetts 4-H Communications team. Today, I'd like to teach you about clicker training. Today, I will answer the following questions about clicker training. First, why should you do it? You only have so much time with your horse, and you don't want to waste any of it. Second, what even is clicker training, and what's the science behind it? Next, what do you need? Most disciplines or training methods have both required and optional tools, and clicker training is no exception. Finally, how do you begin? All the information in the world is useless unless you can actually apply it. So, why should you clicker train? It turns out that clicker training benefits both the horse and the human in a number of ways. It allows you to really connect with your horse and fine-tunes your interpretation of body language. Your horse will receive constant feedback when they do the right thing, which will generate interest in what you're saying, and clicker training teaches them how to think through situations. The best thing about clicker training is that anyone can do it. Any person, any horse, any age, any discipline, even if you're retired. And the other best thing about clicker training is that it's a ton of fun. So, now you know why you should clicker train, and you're all going to go home and do it, right? So what is it? Well, clicker training falls under the umbrella of operant conditioning. Stay with me because it's not as bad as it sounds. Operant conditioning is a type of behavior training that links a voluntary behavior by the horse to a consequence, either good or bad, in order to increase or decrease the behavior. Clicker training falls under the subcategory of positive reinforcement. In this case, the word positive doesn't mean good or bad, it just means that something is being added to the situation. So positive consequences can include a treat for being good or jerking on the lead rope if your horse tries to walk in front of you. The word reinforcement indicates that the consequence is a happy one, and it increases the chance that the horse will perform the behavior again. Reinforcement could include a treat again, or the removal of leg pressure when your horse walks forward under saddle. Clicker training is also different from negative reinforcement, the oldest and most common method of horse training. Both methods are valid, but clicker training is not the same thing. So, let's get into the nuts and bolts. What do you actually need for clicker training? It turns out that there isn't all that much that you need, and most of it you probably already have at the barn. There are a few required things such as lots and lots of treats. You're also going to need some sort of noise maker to signal when the horse does the right thing. This can be a commercial clicker like this. These are very loud, and sometimes they might scare some horses, so you can also use a pen if you need a quieter click. You can also use a vocal cue, like a cluck. Other things, optional things that you'll need for clicker training include safety equipment like a helmet or gloves if you plan to do clicker training while mounted or lunging. You should also wear safe footwear. The tools to teach individual skills using clicker training can vary almost as much as your imagination, and there's no specific one that you need to have. However, they do include a nose target, which you can make at home, cones, mats, holes on the ground, a beach ball, a hula hoop, or a little handkerchief like this, and really anything else that you can think of. All right, let's get down to business. How do you actually begin clicker training? The first thing you would do with clicker training is teach your horse to nose target. This serves two purposes. First, it loads the clicker, which means that it gives the noise meaning to the horse. The second thing is that nose targeting will teach your horse to target their nose to something, which can be expanded into a variety of greater skills. The first step with nose targeting is to present the target, and then you should click the clicker and reward your horse if it shows even the slightest interest of it, like this. As soon as you click, you must give the horse a treat. Then repeat this, and as you repeat this, your horse will show greater and greater interest in the nose target because you have rewarded them for doing this in the past. Eventually, they will actually reach out and touch the nose target. At this point, you may wish to stop for the day and continue the next day. Don't be worried if your horse backslides a little bit, because it's normal for them to forget some of what they did the previous day. Once your horse can reliably touch the target when it's in the same place on the same side, you can expand the skill to have them reach farther up or down, or teach them to do it on the other side. Once your horse is very good at touching the nose target, you can expand the skill to do all sorts of things, like play soccer or kick a beach ball, or perform a Spanish walk by targeting something with their forelegs. You can teach them to ground tie by targeting something on the ground for an extended period of time. You can teach them to do a pattern by targeting one object and then moving to the next. Or you could teach them to take medication well by targeting the medication. Once you've taught nose targeting, your horse understands the clicker, but it may be that they've become very excited around the idea of treats. So the very next thing you should do is teach manners. To teach manners, stand on the side of your horse as if you're about to lead them. This will usually be on the left side, but if they're more polite from the right, it's okay to start there. Ignore any begging or attempts to search your pockets, or put your elbow out so it's the first thing they contact. As soon as the horse turns their head even a little bit away, you should click and reward them immediately. Remember to bring the treat to their mouth instead of letting them come to the treat. Otherwise, you will reinforce the idea that they have permission to come into your space. You should continue practicing this on both sides until your horse will stand with their head in a neutral position. Now, I've taught you why you should clicker train, what clicker training is, what you need to begin clicker training, and how to begin. This concludes my visual presentation. My sources are How to Begin Equine Clicker Training by Hertha James, clickertraining.com by Karen Pryor, and On Target Training by Shauna Karish. Thank you.